Hey there, welcome over to this video today. I'm going to be showing you how to use up all of your Thanksgiving Turkey Day leftovers. If you're like me, you don't want any of your turkey to go to waste, so I'm going to be showing you a bunch of my favorite dinner ideas to use up leftover turkey in delicious, fun, and unique ways. All of these recipes are also super duper easy, so that is amazing. But I hope you guys like these recipes, and if you are new here, I'd love to have you. So go ahead and subscribe down below the video, but let's get to cooking. We're gonna start with this turkey pot pie, and this is not your typical boring turkey pot pie. This pot pie is really super good. So over to my Dutch oven, I melted down 3/4 cup of butter, and once that melted down, I added my 1 diced up onion, and I just stirred this all together until that onion was softened. And now I'm just adding my 3/4 cup of flour, and I'm going to whisk this together to get that flour incorporated with the other ingredients. And now to season it up, I just added a 1/2 teaspoon of poultry seasoning and a 1/4 teaspoon of some thyme. I also added in some salt and pepper to taste, whisked this all together. Now for the liquid ingredients, you're going to be adding in 1 cup of chicken broth and 2/3 cup of some milk. You're going to want to slowly add these liquid ingredients in and stir it after every time, or your mixture will get clumpy, and you don't want a clumpy mixture. I do want to mention this. I have gotten questions on how I meal plan and how I find some of my creative recipes. I actually use the app called FAVOREATS. Here you see me using it. I'm actually going over some Thanksgiving leftover ideas. I found most of these recipes I'm actually using in this video over on FAVOREATS. Anyways, if you want to just search my name, you'll find many of the recipes I use over at FAVOREATS. Now that I have our milk and our broth incorporated with the rest of the ingredients, I'm going to go ahead and add our veggies. So I'm just adding a 1.5 cups of some peas and carrots. These were frozen that I defrosted. You could also just use mixed veggies. Now I'm also adding in 1 potato that I steamed in the microwave, peeled and chopped, and 2 cups of some leftover turkey. I stirred this all together, and now this mixture is good to go. For our egg wash on top of our pot pie, all it is 1 egg and a tablespoon of some water. You're just going to beat this together. Over to my pie pan, I'm just going to lay down 1 of our 2 pie crusts. I did buy this store-bought pie crust just because I didn't want to make my own pie crust. I had quite a lot of stuff I was doing on that day, and I think the store-bought pie crust tastes just fine, and it's quite a bit less work. Anyways, I'm just going to be laying our pie mixture right in the center of that, and then I'm going to put the second pie crust on top of that, and I'm going to crunch down all of the edges. Next, I'm going to brush it with some of that egg wash and then slit about 5 to 6 holes right on the top. This is going to go into a preheated oven to 400 degrees for about 35 to 40 minutes, and then you're going to remove it from the oven and let it cool for an additional 10 minutes, and here it is out of the oven. I could go on and on about this pot pie all day. It truly is delicious. I'm not even the biggest pot pie fan in the world, but I could eat this pot pie any day. Now we're making this sun-dried tomato turkey orzo dish. This one is also really super good. So to my Dutch oven, I have 2 tablespoons of olive oil that I let get nice and hot and sizzly in there. And then I added in our 1 diced up white onion, and I'm going to let this soften down for about 5 minutes. Now that it is a little bit soft, I added in 2 cloves of garlic, stirred that around for 20 seconds and let it get fragrant. And now I'm adding in our sun-dried tomatoes. This is about 3/4 cup of sun-dried tomatoes. And once again, I just stirred this around for another 20 seconds. Now I'm just adding in our 1 cup of orzo along with our turkey. I just added in about 1.5 cups of leftover turkey. Of course, you could add in more turkey or less turkey, just kind of depending on how much turkey you have left over or how much turkey you want to use. After I stirred that all together, I just added in our 2 cups of chicken broth. I actually always just use this better than bouillon. It'll save you money other than just buying, store-bought containers of chicken broth or any broth. So that's my little tip for the day. Anyways, I just stirred this all together, brought it up to a boil, and let that orzo cook. Orzo does tend to stick, so make sure you do stir it often. Now that I do have my orzo cooked to my liking, I'm just adding in my 3/4 cup of heavy whipping cream along with 2 cups of baby spinach and 3/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. I'm just going to stir this all together and let that spinach wilt down. Here it is all finished. This really did come out delicious. If you don't have some turkey on hand, you could just use shredded chicken in replace of the turkey or a rotisserie chicken. But like I said before, this is really super good. Now we're making some turkey tacos. This was actually my husband's request. My husband absolutely loves tacos. It's kind of funny. Anyways, to begin, in my pan, I have a tablespoon of olive oil. I let get nice and hot, and then I added about 1.5 cups of some chopped up turkey. I did chop this turkey up into some pretty small pieces, and now you're gonna wanna add some taco seasoning mix. I'm just using this Taco Bell taco seasoning mix, and I added about 1 tablespoon. Of course, like always, you could add more or less taco seasoning depending on what you prefer. Next, I just added 1 tablespoon of some tomato paste, 1/2 of a lime, and then 1/2 cup of some chicken broth. And then you're gonna whisk this all together for about 5 minutes and just let it get nice and smooth and let everything get heated through. And that's seriously it. This really couldn't get any easier. Here are my 2 tacos. I just served mine with some cheese, tomatoes, sour cream, and some jalapenos. Of course, you could put whatever toppings you like on your taco. You could also add beans, but these are really super good and a great way to use up your turkey. I'm sure you could have guessed this one, but now we're making some turkey noodle soup. So to get it started, you're going to want to chop up 2 stalks of celery, 2 carrots, and 1 yellow onion into smaller pieces. Over to my Dutch oven, I have my oil sizzling in there. I just added our veggies right in, and you're going to stir these veggies around and let them get slightly soft for about 5 minutes. Now that our veggies are softer, I'm going to be adding in my 1/2 teaspoon of thyme. If you do have a bay leaf, go ahead and add your bay leaf in. Unfortunately, I ran out of bay leaves without even realizing. Anyways, I'm also adding in my 8 cups of chicken broth at this point and my 3 cups of leftover turkey that I chopped up into smaller pieces and our 8 ounces of egg noodles. You're going to give this a stir and let this simmer and let all of your veggies and the egg noodles cook through. Here is my big bowl of soup. This came out really super good. I just topped mine with some fresh parsley, mainly for looks, and then some black pepper. I really love making soup like this because this is one of my daughter's favorite foods of all time. This one is actually a really great lunch idea for leftover turkey. We're making some turkey cranberry salad. So I'm going to add in my 1 green onion that I chopped into smaller pieces along with my 1 stick of celery, 1 cup of turkey, 2 tablespoons of some dried cranberries, 1/4 cup of mayonnaise. I'm just using this Best Foods mayonnaise, but of course use your favorite type of mayonnaise. And then you're going to add some salt and pepper to taste. And then I'm just adding in 1 teaspoon of some normal yellow mustard. You could add in Dijon mustard if that's what you prefer, or any type of mustard. You could even add in dried mustard. Anyways, you're going to stir this all together, and now it's ready to serve. I just served mine on a toasted piece of some French bread. This is such a good recipe. It's also so simple, but has a lot of flavor. And that is a wrap of this video today. I hope you guys all enjoyed it and maybe you got some turkey meal inspiration. If you do have any of your family favorite recipes on how to use up leftover turkey, I personally would love to hear it in the comments down below, and I'm sure a lot of other people would like to hear your family's way of using your leftover turkey, so go ahead and leave that in the comments down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.